this video, we're going to look at simplifying a rational expression. When you're looking at a rational expression, the key word in rational that you want to focus on is the word ratio. Ratio means fraction. And a rational expression is a fraction with variables. So when we are simplifying a rational expression, you need to go back and remember your rules for fractions. And you're not going to do anything any different other than in a rational expression, you've got variables and you're going to need to factor to simplify these expressions before you can multiply them. You may want to get out a sheet of paper and factor these functions. Factor the numerator, factor the denominator, and again for the other fraction. And then you can simplify. I've gone ahead and factored 2x squared plus x minus 6, and that is 2x minus 3 and x plus 2 over the factors of negative 5 that add up to a positive 4 are the factors of negative 5 that add up to a positive 4 are positive 5 and negative 1. The other side, we would have taken out an x to begin with, and then you're factoring x squared minus 3x plus 2, and the factors of 2 that add to negative 3 are negative 1 and negative 2. In the denominator, you are taking out a 2x as your GCF, and that leaves you 2x minus 3. You can reduce here. If there's anything in the numerator that matches anything in the denominator, you can divide. So 2x minus 3 divided by 2x minus 3. X divided by x is 1. X minus 1 divided by x minus 1. And that simplifies to what is left in the numerator is x plus 2 times x minus 2. And what's left in the denominator is 2 times x plus 5. Now, what is important when you simplify a rational expression is to define your domain. If you remember, a domain is all of your possible x values. And what you also need to remember is that you can never have a 0 in the denominator. If you have a 0 in the denominator, that makes your function or your expression undefined because you cannot divide by 0. If you don't remember that, just get your phone out and ask Siri. Say, Siri, what is 0 divided by 0? Or what is a number divided by 0? And I think Siri will give you your answer there, and you might get a chuckle out of that. But here you know that if you take x minus 1, where you cross that out and set it equal to 0, x cannot equal 1. Obviously, x cannot equal 0 for this x. X cannot equal, if I take 2x minus 3 and set it equal to 0, it cannot be equal to 3 halves. X can also not be equal to negative 5. So your domain here would be all real numbers except x cannot equal any of those numbers. It is very important. So at this time, I would like for you to pause the video and try this one. And then when you think you have the answer, go ahead and press play and see what the answer is. You will take out the greatest common factor in the top. So that would leave you 3x plus 1. Take out a GCF in the denominator, and that's going to leave you x squared minus 3x minus 18. Factors of 18 that add up to 3 are negative 3 and a positive 6. And then we're going to multiply, and the factors of negative 15 that add up to 2 are negative 3 and positive 5. No, excuse me, positive 5 and I'm going to get this straight in a minute. Positive 3 and negative 5. So negative 5 plus 3 gives you negative 2. Negative 5 times positive 3 gives you negative 15. In the denominator, 3x squared minus 8x minus 3. You would do 3 times negative 3 to give you a negative 9. And the factors of negative 9 that add up to 8 are 1 minus 9 gives you negative 8. So you have x plus 1/3. Bring up your 3, 3x plus 1. And x minus 9 divided by 3 would be x minus 3. At this point, go ahead and reduce everything out. So you could say x divided by x, 3x plus 1 divided by 3x plus 1. X plus 3 does not match anything, and neither does x minus 5. So now we are left with x plus 3, x minus 5 in the numerator, x minus 3 twice, so I would write that as a quantity squared, times x plus 6. Now it is time to define our domain. Your domain is all real numbers. That's 2 lines and an R. That's all real numbers, except x cannot equal 0, 3, negative 6, negative 1/3. Dividing a rational expression is almost like multiplying. However, you will keep the first, change division to multiplication, and multiply by the reciprocal. So let's rewrite this. X cubed minus 8 over x squared minus 4, multiply by the reciprocal. If at this point you can reduce anything before you factor, by all means, go right ahead. When you factor x cubed minus 8, you will be using the difference of 2 cubes. So remember our SOFA's acronym. The cube root of x cubed is x. Keep your sign. Cube root of 8 is 2. Square the front. Change your sign, opposite sign. Front times back. Always addition. Square the back. The denominator here is x squared minus 4. That's the difference of 2 squares. You can take the square root of the first term. You are connected with a minus. You can't take the square root of the second term. You got all guesses, so the square root of x is x. Square root of 4 is 2. Put a plus in one and a minus in the other. X cubed plus 8, you're doing the sum of 2 cubes. And so again, your SOFA's acronym, the cube root of each term. Then you're going to square the front, opposite sign, front times back, always add, square the back. Factors of 4 that add up to 2. I don't know of any. If you come up with some, email me, because I just don't know of any factors that you multiply together to get 4 and add up to get 2. Okay, so let's reduce. That's my favorite part. X minus 2, x minus 2. X squared plus 2x plus 4, x squared plus 2x plus 4. X plus 2, x plus 2. So we were able to reduce quite a bit here. And your final answer is x squared minus 2x plus 4. It's important to say that x cannot equal positive or negative 2. X cubed minus 1 over x squared minus 1. Change division to multiplication and flip. Factoring x cubed minus 1 is the difference of 2 cubes. So x minus 1, square the front, change your sign. 1 times x is x, always positive. 1 squared is 1. X squared minus 1, you have the difference of 2 squares. Square root of x squared is x. Square root of 1 is 1. Plus in one, minus in the other. Factors of 1 that adds up to 2. X plus 1 times x plus 1. factors of 1 that add up to 1. I don't know of any. Reduce. X minus 1 divided by x minus 1. X squared plus x plus 1 divided by x squared plus x plus 1. X plus 1 divided by x plus 1. That reduces down nicely to x plus 1. Note that x cannot equal positive or negative 1.